Hey, what's up? This is Andrew from Comeback Kid. You're listening to and watching Interview Without an S Under Fire.
All right. Hey there, everyone. Welcome once again to a brand new episode of Interview Under Fire. This is your beloved host, the one and only Sonny here. And today I have the honor of speaking with an immensely talented individual, Andrew Neufeld. Thank you so much for taking the time of your day to join our IUF series today. Now,
this is my room. This is my bed.
This is my room. That's his bed. I see a guitar up there.
This is my sick of it all belt. This is where it all goes down, yo.
That's pretty sick, pun intended. Man, bro, this is an exciting way to start up the new year for you and the rest of the guys over at Comeback Kid with the drop of your latest album, Heavy Steps, which is set to unleash January 21st via New Damage and Nuclear Blast. Let me begin by commending you on, just congratulating you on reaching 20 years of Comeback Kid.
Yeah, we were going to do like a 20-year kind of celebration last year, but it didn't work out with COVID and stuff. So, here we are, 21 years.
Yeah.
Now we can drink.
Yeah, now we can drink. That's the Comeback Kid. That's how it goes, right? And of course, all the well-deserved recognition that you guys have been getting over the years. 7 albums cemented into this band's impressive discography for as long as I've been listening to you guys.
Thanks,
so
man.
much to discover about this jawbreaker of an album. And yes, I have been putting it on repeat. And who you guys are all about. Bro, we're gonna get to that. I mean, I more than like it. So we'll get to that. Before we do,
you like my record that I created?
What? I like your record that you created.
Wow. I've never felt so loved in my life before. It feels good.
Before we get to that, I think this is a good question to kick things off by asking, how are you considering the state of the world in this last 2 years? Man, does it feel like everything kind of just went by in a blink at the same time since all this started? I mean, I still remember March 11th of 2020 when all this started.
Where are you?
Dallas.
So we just had a pretty good 6 months, man. We toured, we played some festivals in Quebec, and then we went to the UK, played a festival there, and then we did like an East Coast tour and a West Coast tour. We got stopped in our tracks on the West Coast tour. We all got COVID at the end of it. We all were stranded during Christmas with COVID in the States. Couldn't get back home to the families and stuff like that. So, I just got back a week and a half ago. And we've canceled our next tour coming up only because Germany, I don't think, is going to let it happen. It's just going to be a big year of, I think, pivoting and rescheduling. But you just got to kind of roll with the punches,
Right.
We expect that the stuff that we have coming up, all the plans you make, you just have to be able to just pivot and kind of roll with the punches. So that's it.
And I did remember seeing that announcement of the cancellation of that tour. And I mean, making the best of a situation is what we got to do, right? That's kind of been the commonality.
For a while, we were we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Who cares? The only thing that stopped us was the restrictions. We would have done it if we were able to, but it just became that point where it's
Yeah, and I feel like with this whole restriction thing, I feel like we could dive into this rabbit hole a little further because it's really different. I mean, as opposed to Texas and Florida, I feel like we're kind of in our own world. I have a best friend who lives out in California, and their restrictions are, I mean, not even close to.
Yeah, I'm very jealous of. I just watched videos from FYA Festival this last weekend.
Yeah,
Florida was amazing, man.
It was amazing.
I was telling my friend, post more videos so I can kind of live vicariously.
And then you can mosh in your own room, right? Of course, with the whole live streaming that we've been seeing for the past
exactly
2 years, it's crazy. Now, I mentioned 20 years, right? Let's turn the clock back, Andrew, to 2002, maybe even 2001, because I don't know if you're a sentimental person like me, but as of late, I mean, have you ever just stopped to look back on that time in your life during the Figure 4 days and when where a Comeback Kid all began? I know you guys have been through lineup changes and everything else in between, but here we are. You mentioned 21 years, right? Have you
Very much
stopped
right.
for a moment to take a look back at that time when this all
Yeah,
began?
actually, when I played Furnace Fest this year, I'll bring this out.
Yeah.
They,
A good buddy of mine.
they made a figure four hockey card.
Holy
That's me 20
shit.
years ago, figure four, little baby boy, hardcore shit. You know what I'm saying? So, um,
Dude.
honestly, and like every time I do interviews and like this whole thing, like stuff with you and like other people like that, it kind of forces me to reflect back on the old days and where comeback had started. And like figure four was kind of the prequel to comeback so
That's a good thing,
but
right? To look back on
yeah,
things like that.
it's great. It's great. It's so I have a lot of time to look back on all this stuff, and I've been telling my story lately a lot.
Do
That's
you
for
ever
sure.
look back on the old videos of yourself performing? It's like, man,
Dude,
that's
I
me.
will, because I am in my room right now, I will show you something crazy.
Okay.
Too. Go and tell. Check this out. I just found like all these fucking like tapes like this.
Oh, the small ones where you put in the camcorder.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah,
So
I have those.
I'm gonna put the like I'm gonna find a friend that has a converter, and we're gonna find some really funny videos of my
Dude,
early
so I
tour.
mentioned both of my brothers. We have a stack. I mean, a stack of those tapes from like 1994, 1993, where you would put it in the Magnavox. I think that was the brand, and we would just plug into a VCR. If kids out there know what the
It's the
VCR
mini
is,
VCR, I think that one is.
the mini VCR. Yeah, yeah, because the
One that goes into a tape,
like an adapter, and then you put it in
Mhm.
the yeah, bro. I love this. I love that you can relate to me when it comes to that
We'll see.
stuff.
We'll
That's
see. We'll see
I
how
don't get
funny.
to talk about that much, man.
Oh yeah.
But you
Well, how old are
mentioned
you? Are you like 40? I'm 40. How old are
I'm
you?
33.
Oh, baby boy. Yeah.
Baby boy. Bro, you look nothing like 40, man. You're younger in spirit, you're younger than me, man. That's the
Yeah.
way I see it. You mentioned Furnace Fest, right? A really good buddy of mine. I'm actually gonna give a shout out to Capra. They're a band out in Louisiana. My friend Tyler, it was actually on stage. I think he did a live stream while you guys were on stage at Furnace Fest. And that was one of the festivals I missed this year. Like we covered other shows, but the Furnace Festival show was the one that I really wanted to see. And good lord, the crowd, just the atmosphere. This is coming from someone like me who's looking at on a device. I wasn't even there myself, but
Uh,
I mean the feedback from the crowd. I gotta ask, man, you've been at this for a while. You've been at this for a while. I'm talking about the touring life, the live music experience for you personally. You've done some extensive touring. Aside from the Furnace Fest, you guys did that West Coast tour at the end 2021. You guys have shared the stages with Parkway Drive, Rise Against, Earth Crisis. That list goes on and on.
you never played
But
with Earth Crisis.
you haven't?
Maybe we have. Maybe a festival.
I'm sure you have.
Maybe,
It was with them and Terror and one, I think Refused as well, if I'm not mistaken.
maybe a festival.
Maybe I know you more than you know yourself. Who knows?
You might be right. Maybe I
but
was drinking. I don't know.
but I want to round it out to this question, Andrew. But what is it about performing live that you love the most, or maybe even miss the most, considering the state of the world? Would you say you have a newfound appreciation about it now?
No, man. I've always been about it. Like, yes, during the pandemic when we were totally locked down, one feeling that I really felt like I felt like I couldn't like exert my energy. I felt very subdued.
Hmm.
So I would go to like my jam space and just kind of like turn on the stereo and just scream, take off my shirt, just be by myself and be a geek, whatever. But that was maybe the main thing that I felt during the pandemic, because I wasn't able to exert energy,
Hmm.
like that like proper energy. And then we did the record and I was able to scream, and now I'm like energied out. You know what I mean? We just did
Yeah,
6 months of tour and I felt like we just like toured for a lifetime now.
you're able to get just all that, I guess, stored energy just out there into the
Yeah.
crowd. You know, it.
And yeah, I definitely got my fill in the last 6 months as well. Just doing the East Coast and West Coast tour, and being in these packed venues, like such a culture shock from the last couple years of like being so like subdued or whatever. And Canada is so much different than what, like, just like you're saying, like so much different than Florida and Texas and stuff. So we're definitely like, dude, like we can't even like go inside of a restaurant right now. It's so stupid. Like,
Sheesh.
not. It is what it is.
It's stupid. It is stupid. We got to call it what it is. It's.
I'm not a doctor or a scientist, so I have no opinion.
I mean, just this whole situation is just stupid. You know, it's unfortunate that we're in this position, but you know, again, I don't mean to repeat myself, but making the best of this situation is what we got to do. And you guys have done that, you know, and obviously staying busy during the pandemic was and is an important thing. But, you know, aside from the music, Andrew, now that it's been 2 years, has that time opened up anything new for you that maybe doesn't involve music, maybe personally, you know, that, or even artistically, that you looking back on that you can take with you moving forward?
Yes, but at the same time, dude, like I'm more excited about hardcore now than I have been ever. You know, I think that this scene has grown so much, especially during the pandemic. There's these new bands that started during the pandemic and now they are the fucking pop and shit right now. Like these are like Pain of Truth, Zulu, Scowl,
Scowl,
Speed from Australia. Like, dude, there are some crazy ass bands that have just started during the pandemic, and hardcore is on fire right now, and it's really fun to see. We were just talking, like I was just like so jealous to see everyone playing at FYA festival in Florida. I was stuck here in Canada, you know, locked down, but it's a special time. I don't really have hobbies outside of music. Really, I do my music, I do the business of the band, and then I hang out with my friends. Like,
yeah. Hey, that's all you got to do, man. Music is what you're all about, Andrew, and that's me. You know, I don't really do anything else besides maybe watch movies, but is that even considered a hobby? Everybody watches a movie.
I don't golf.
I don't golf either, so we're fine.
Yeah, there's lots of good golfing though, isn't it?
Those bands you mentioned, I'm gonna give a shout out to Capra again. That's another hardcore band that actually released an album last year during the pandemic. Their debut album, Capra, CAPRA, Capra. They're from Louisiana. Some of the greatest dudes. We hosted them on our publication last year, but they're
hardcore band.
Hardcore band, yes. And the guitarist and the founder of the band was on stage with you guys, taking a live shot footage of you guys, and his name is Tyler. Yeah. So and Tyler loves you guys. I'm gonna give a shout out to Tyler Harper from Capra, and they're one of the upcoming hardcore bands signed with Metal Blade Records. But
hell
yeah. So if you haven't already, check them out. Love those guys. Some of the greatest dudes you'll ever meet. Hopefully a tour coming out soon, but that's wishful thinking on my end. But anyway, that's a whole different discussion. Now, bro, let's get to Heavy Steps, man. The 7th album. We talked about everything except the music. Drops January 21st on New Damage and Nuclear Blast Records. Let me repeat the words here, Andrew, because the 7th album, before we get into the nitty gritty of Heavy Steps, because this is the follow-up to your 2017's Outsider. That was just another solid effort through and through. Knowing the success of albums like Outsider, like Die Knowing, Broadcasting even, was there any such thing as pressure for you and the guys when you decided to sit down and write again for a new album, or even just a follow-up, considering we are well into the band's career at this point?
There's always pressure. Every time we write, we want it to be the fucking one. But that's not to say, like, dude, we have to write. We have to be like doing this. This is not like something that we do because we feel like it's part of us, man. Like, we write songs. That's what we do. You know, we write songs, we go play shows. You know, sometimes we get a kick in the ass to write a song, but that's just what we do. Like, even if it wasn't for Comeback Kid, we'd be writing songs. So yes, there's pressure, but every record's pressure. Every song is pressure. You want to every time we write a song, we want it to be the best.
Yeah.
So we just try our best. And yeah, you know, luckily I have other guys in my band that like also write. So that kind of makes me like, yo, I gotta like step it up. Like, if they're writing cool songs, I gotta also like bring something to the table, so that there's that healthy competition, you know, that kind of stuff.
I think that's great. That really shows the growth and maturity within the band members, within the band. It really pushes each other. When you're pushing each other to become a better version of yourselves, I think.
Yeah, when someone's sending like 5 songs to you and you haven't written one yet, you're like, okay, it's time. Like, I got to do it.
You know, from songs like, I got to get into this, man. From songs like the title track to Crossed alongside, of course, Joseph Duplantier from Gojira. Dead on the Fence, which is my personal favorite, to True to Form.
That's a good song, right? Dead on the Fence.
That's a man. I'm surprised that's not a single, but hey, that's
me too. I don't know what to do now because it's not. Like, I hope that we can play it live.
I'm over here, bro. So here's the thing. My dog is like out here, right? Behind this door. It's shut. So he doesn't like, cause it sounds like I'm like shouting and he thinks I'm hurt. So that was like the memory of having Dead on the Fence play. I turned it up so loud. Like he was just like doing this on the door. But that song, I can't wait for people to hear it. I know we're just about a week and a half away from it to drop, technically a week, but just the time frame from the opening song all the way to Menacing Weight. I mean, this is quite the offering, dude. You guys continue to push the boundaries of hardcore and punk music with a modernized twist of everything that you are. Like, I know it's Comeback Kid. It was banger after banger after banger. There wasn't a song on here that didn't make me want to not break into a gym in the middle of the night and lift all the weights in there all by myself, right? That's to me, that's a good to me, that's a good formula. I don't know what
definitely my friend, I met a guy one time, a Russian friend of mine, and he was like kind of like we became friends, but he said like when he saw me at a bar one time, and he's like, yo, I like love like working out, listening to Comeback Kid. And I was like standing against the bar. I was like, yeah, we're kind of a gym band or whatever. But he took it as a drag. Like he thought that I was like making fun of him. But like literally, we're a good band to listen to when you're working out. But he thought I was making fun of him. No, I was like literally saying, dude,
yeah,
Dead on the Fence is gonna make you pump a couple extra.
And
I don't pump, but I can be the soundtrack to the pump. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's, for me, that's a good formula for a good album. I mean, for Dead on the Fence, again, this is
hold up.
Hello?
Hugo, just doing an interview with someone from Texas here.
Oh,
you're on live.
I'll let you back to it, man. I'll let you back to it.
Okay, buddy. I'll call you back.
All right. Bye.
Thank you.
There you go. That was good. That's gonna be a great bit. But man, where were we? Because I talked about that good formula, right? You guys are that providing that gym.
We're always gonna have different kinds of songs. We're always gonna have like the heavy songs and the punk songs. It's just because that's just who we are. We like to mosh and we like to sing. Okay.
If I haven't, I'm gonna quote you here. You said we're a hardcore band, but we don't feel like we belong to any particular section of that, which I absolutely love that statement because
easy peasy,
man. You don't want to limit yourself.
No, that's what I'm saying. I fucking mosh for a living now, but I also like to sing once in a while. So give me my my fat wreck fantasy and give me my mosh fantasy. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go, man. But walk me through this, Andrew. I wonder, how much do things change from when you first start composing on this album to where you ended up finishing it? Did a lot change in between? Did nothing change? Did you guys already have a specific sound that you had in mind with Heavy Steps from day one?
No, it never ends up like that with Comeback Kid. It's just literally we all throw songs at the wall, like me and two other guys that are the songwriters. We throw songs at the wall and we see what sticks. We probably we recorded like 18 songs for this record and 11 made it. There's a few others that
I need to hear those other 7.
There's a few others that won't really like fit into the mold, but yeah, it's just like there's never a plan. It's just writing, and we just write, and then if it works, it works. And there's never like, okay, we got to write like this kind of record. Like, and you can even tell that with every Comeback Kid record. Like, there's going to be heavy songs, and then you're going to have a punk rock song. You're going to have the Madball song. You're going to have the Propaganda song. You're going to have the heavy song. You're going to have the light song.
Yeah. And I love that this album was also kind of a representation on. It actually reminded me of your earlier music too. It was kind of a throwback to your older days.
There's definitely moments where we're like, we want to do like a throwback type song.
Yeah, and I feel like you achieved that. Something else that you achieved, the sound, the production, that was a big part of this record that I really loved. Right? I mean, Andrew, I'm an audiophile these days. I don't know about you, but I'm very picky on how I want my music to sound, the way I want it to sound. That kind of helps when you're coming from a family of musicians and both of your brothers are producers in their own music that they make. With this album,
know that about me?
What's that?
You know that about me?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like I said, I may know more about you than you know about yourself.
Oh, yeah.
With this, but Heavy Steps, I don't know if you felt the same way. I don't know about others, but it sounded clean and dirty at the same time. It had that hardcore.
You know what it is? You got that like it's a clean and like loud, but you also can hear the like scrapes between the guitar like chords.
Yeah,
Which was you can hear the like kind of like those kind of little things.
Yeah, it was that punk sound production from the early days of the genre. Like it reminded me of listening to like an earlier, Minor Threat, Circle Jerks, even Black Flag. It was modernized. It was a perfect dose of the new and the old that you guys have put in. And
we definitely do like a little more of pop, like not the vocal style, but I would say like the production. I would lean more towards a pop production where you have the middle vocals, but then you have the pan stuff, and then you have a lot of throws, which when I say throw, that means it's like when I say throw.
Yeah.
So things like that, some little reverbs and delays, and just making the vocals sound different at different times. That's what I mean by pop production.
And I want to give a shout out to Private Ear Recording Studio alongside an old friend of the band and producer John Paul Peters. He's also known for his work with, I believe, Cancer Bats, Propaganda, and he also recorded your first album, if I'm not mistaken, Turn It Around.
He did. And then Will Putney mixed the record.
And I had a chance to, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was going to say I had a chance to interview Will about a year and a half ago on this publication, and I've had Fit for an Autopsy on the show several times, and what a great guy. I mean, and Will Putney, if people don't know him already, come on, Knock Loose, Every Time I Die, so many, Body Count. Talk about these guys collectively, Andrew, from John to Will. I'm sure there was that sense of comfortability in the studio for you, knowing that you had this group working on this record, right?
Yeah, it's definitely good to have people like you trust working on the record. I actually did all my vocals in another studio, in a Studio B, with this guy named Derek, and he was great. He was a great engineer, but he'd never heard hardcore before. And so I just had like the Pro Tools screen in my room, and we just kind of comped as we went. It was very, very like 2 days into recording or 3 days into recording, we're like, okay, there's no way we're going to finish this in time. So we need to hire someone else and start recording in another studio while we're doing everything else.
Yeah.
So we just kind of took matters into our own hands, and it's a very hybrid record. There's a lot of different things going on, like a lot of people involved, and it definitely was a group effort.
And I've been listening to so much more hardcore lately. And another band I'm going to give a shout out to is Mouth of War. They're from Colorado. They're a metallic hardcore band. But it's just like, this is such a great age for hardcore. I feel like I don't want to say just making a comeback, pun intended, but it's like you guys are all coming together, making the music that you're making. And it's really astounding to see. Isn't it really great when you have, well, I'm going to backtrack because you mentioned Derek. Was it Derek who's never heard hardcore before?
Never.
Isn't it interesting? Now, an associate of mine told me this, I don't want to say colleague, but it was just when you have someone who is not familiar with the heavy metal realm, bring him into the production because they can actually give their own spin on how the record can sound. I think that's also a recipe for success. If you just bring someone who's only into metal, who's only ever worked on metal to work on a metal record, I feel like you're not reaching the.
Honestly,
you see what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Dude, it was a one-man show. I just had to trust myself on that one.
Hey, and it worked, right?
It worked. John Paul, I would have loved him to track I'm just being honest. I would have loved John Paul to track my vocals. Sometimes I'd be in the studio and be like, yo, like, is this take good? And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, can I get like some feedback or like something? This is the second time I've done records. Like, hopefully he never sees this, but this is the second time I've done a record where, dude, like, I'm like, can you guys produce me? Like, can you guys tell me like if I'm doing it good or bad? I literally have to trust myself on some of this stuff. That's why I'm really excited. Next record, I need to find my own vocal producer.
Man, whatever you're doing, it's working so far. I will say that, but now you got me excited for another record coming up. Geez, I
need some feedback, man.
Bro, the feedback is good. I'm just
no, like as no, but as in the booth.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's I can't wait to see where you go from here as far as that is concerned. It's nice to that because everything you're telling me, you want to be able to hear the way you want to sound, right? That's you're pushing your talents, you're pushing the boundaries.
You can only trust yourself so much.
Yeah, and between writing and structuring the songs and the production process, like we just talked about, this I wanted to get on this topic because I want you to keep all this in mind as I'm asking you this. Even the album art, also the lyricism throughout Heavy Steps. You have a song like the title track, which is about a particular perspective about tearing through life, right? Instinct over reason, right? And then you have a song like No Easy Way Out, which is about feeling the needing
trapped in the corner,
to escape, but also running into the realization that may be harder than what it seems. And then you have a song like Crossed, which I was able to cover Gojira a couple of months ago, so this really hits home, which is about staying in reality and being wary of
you got it.
The elements.
And it's like those motherfuckers that are just like in the void, like, dude, where the fuck did you go? You know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
And especially at a time like today, bro, like I feel like it really resonates. Having said all that, having what I just told you, I begin to think if there's something tangible like a theme to this album, either one or multiple. How important are themes to you, Andrew? Was that a big component of songwriting on Heavy Steps?
I never
loaded question, I know.
No, I'm never able to like theme a whole record. I've never been able to accomplish that. But I think you kind of like summed it up perfectly. Like you got every point that I tried to make on this record. Like, I love that you got what Crossed Into the Void was also about because, very of the time, but we all have the friends that we just feel have like crossed over into this weird fantasy, like,
And of all people, you had Joe from Gojira.
Is he anti-vax?
Joe? I don't know. I don't think so.
I wonder.
Now you got me thinking. This is going to be on all major podcast streams, so everyone's going to be like, huh.
No, don't. Let's keep this under the radar. No, it's just a question. Is Joe from anti-vax?
I don't know.
I'm sure he's vaxxed.
I'm probably he is, but it's
like
you do this, I'll do this. We'll leave it up on that. Okay. But I think it's really neat how you wanted to deliver the message with these songs. I don't know if that was a challenge for you. Like, was it just kind of just like, okay, here's this and I can do that? Or did you kind of have to just like work it over time on getting
lyrics is definitely just something that you have to do. You just like force yourself to do it.
Yeah, because
music is way easier than lyrics. Lyrics is just like what you kind of have to do, and you got to do it as best you can. So that's kind of how it goes.
Would you also say that you see Heavy Steps as, I don't know, like a snapshot of where you are in a certain time in your life? Looking
100%. You can tell that it's a desperate person, me, trying to navigate through life, and it's very tough, and there's a lot of like doubt and second guessing, but just like, here we are, I'm trying to do it, that's the vibe.
And bro, thank you so much for sharing just everything, man, with me. This has been, again, this was like a bucket list interview for me, so I can't wait for everyone to hear this. From Andrew, from the different experiences and perspectives in your timeline that you have taken and which we have discussed about so far, performing for as long as you have, of course, and the people you have met and worked with during this banger of an album, including the others, the touring life, your relationship with your bandmates, your friends, your family, 7 records.
You didn't ask me about any of that shit.
I did. In a way, I did. Yeah. In a way, I did. You kind of, in a way, answered it, but we'll, if you want to go deeper into that, we can save that for next time. All right.
No. You're wrapping it up.
We're not wrapping it up yet because I want to do that surprise at the end. But 7 records, I mentioned earlier, 7 records in 2 decades, continue to cementing on the band's legacy. It sounds like you still have much left to put out there with not only Comeback Kid's vision, but yours. I mean, this is definitely something that you have a passion for. The truth is from what I'm seeing, you've experienced plenty already in your career, and then some.
There's no stopping, dude. I'm moshing for a living right now.
So what about so tell me about your aspirations. Have they changed or evolved since when you first started performing in the
My
industry?
aspirations, do they go above moshing for a living? I'm not really sure.
Do you see things differently
I think
today?
moshing is the best job that
Hell
I
yeah.
could think of. You know, when we did the pandemic and we couldn't do shows, I started working in film, started driving. Driving in the film is like going on tour but never playing a show. It sucks. The best is just doing music, man.
Yeah.
It's
Totally.
not very difficult. It's very simple. I like to play music and I run this business, which is our band, and it takes like all my time, but you know, it's worth it.
And I hope you keep doing that, because it's, you know, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here where I'm at today without listening to the music you've done throughout your career. So much appreciation for what you've done. So now, before I let you go,
what is this crazy surprise here?
All right, here we go. Hold on a second, man. I got you. Don't worry. Here we go. I'm going to do something called the hot seat. I'm going to see if you know the lyrics to your own songs. You up for that challenge?
Oh my God.
I'm not going to pick every song. I hand selected a few myself.
Comeback kid songs?
Yeah. Comeback kid songs. I'm going to start you off easy. You ready?
No other side projects or anything like that?
No. I was thinking about it, but I was like, you know what? I think that I'll let him off the hook since. Right. Okay, so I handpicked a few songs. You're getting it. Yeah, I'm going to drink all of it. All right, here we go. I'm going to start you off easy. I'm going to read a lyric. You just name the song. If I can't protect myself, foe, friend, then foe.
Crossed, featuring Joe Duplantier.
Hell yeah. All right. All right. There you go. All right. See, you got this. Here we go. I've only made things worse today, and everything's in my way. Adding,
because I should know better from Die Knowing.
From Die Knowing 2014. All right. I'm not going in order, so good catch. All right. 2 for 2.
Took a healthy sip. That's Die Knowing.
I think most, and most of all, we're reminded of when one takes the fall. It's just a bad string of these unfortunate events looping over you. So, the next line. Are you cheating?
No, I'm thinking.
I thought you were looking at, you're like bored or something.
No, I
imagine Andrew just having this board of just lyrics on the wall.
I feel like it's like a song from Symptoms and Cures, but I can't tell right now. Say it again.
Okay. I'm gonna read it. The last line actually finishes this verse. I think most, and most of all, we're reminded of when one takes the fall. It's just a bad string of these unfortunate events looping over you. So, and the next line is the name of this.
I actually have no idea.
It's from Outsider. Throw that stone.
Wow.
Throw that stone. Yeah.
You know what's funny about that?
That's a deep cut, man. I think that's a deep cut.
Sometimes, like, and we laugh about this too. Like, sometimes I'll like do a song and I'll say to like the guys like Jeremy, I'll say, Jeremy, this is the last time I'm ever gonna sing this song, and it's in the studio. I'm like, we're never gonna play this song live. This is the last time this will ever be sung. And Throw That Stone, Jeremy produced me on that song. He fucking really got me to do some crazy screams on that song. He was in the studio and he was the Mr. Producer man on that one. But yeah, no, I don't remember that.
That may be my favorite one off of that record. So
it's a good song.
I think that is.
I need to revisit it now that you've told me.
It's the second to last song, I believe, on that. Yeah. All right, here we go. Hey, see, if anything, I'm making you rethink your set list. I don't know. Again, I'm just one of thousands of fans out there. You're looking at me like.
Mosh?
I used to. Not as, bro. These bones are can't.
If there's no action in the pit, we're not gonna play the song, man.
Then you have to play it. Oh,
it's hype or not. If it's hype, it's hype. If it's not, it's not.
Come to Texas, put that to the test. All right, we're gonna save that for that.
Have you seen the podcast with the guy that does the moshing? So he'll play a song, and if it like moves him, he'll like dance in his room.
What's the name? I have not seen this.
It's pretty sick. I'll send it to you.
Yeah. Send that to me, because now I want to see that. This is all right. Here we go. How many do we? Okay, moving on. Surrounded by your protected shell, you better get out, because I can't do this for you. This strategy's weakening the design, stalling and dragging your feet way behind. It's like poetry as I'm reading this. I feel like I'm reading a lullaby to a kid.
Let it go. You were so persuasive. Oh, one more day, one more night. This is from broadcasting.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think to the 2007.
Yeah.
Yep, that's
what the fuck is that song?
bro, you got it. I'm gonna give you that. That's Come Around.
But I sang the rest of the song.
Yeah,
though.
you did. I was like, oh, you got it. Come Around.
That's the most like Metallica we've ever done.
When's the last time you played that live?
One more day, one more night. What?
Oh wow, that is a very it is. I didn't even think about that until when's the last time? Yeah. When did you play that live last? Just curious.
We've never played it live. Not one.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Stu loves that song. Stu, our guitar player, he loves broadcasting, and broadcasting is an album that we never play live. Actually,
you know, it's different. Yeah, go ahead. I didn't interrupt you there.
That to me is like my failure record.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like it.
That was actually one of the albums that charted the highest.
It did. But
yeah,
I
interesting.
I think it sucks.
Nah, it's all good. All right. Those basement dwelling days are so far from me. Moving.
Yeah, talk is cheap. Easy peasy.
Wake the Dead. 05. See what I mean? When you read it, it's like poetry. It's when you're, as opposed to when you're just delivering it on stage. Me reading it gives it a whole different feel. I don't know if it's the same way.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I've never heard lyrics being pronounced this way before. I wrote that shit, man. What are you doing? All right, here we go. I can't win. I'm writing it off. My back's pinned to the wall. Let it run.
Pull back the reins.
From Symptoms Cures to
Sam Carter from Architects.
Yeah, that was right. That's the last song on that album. I know for sure. Yeah. All right. Just a couple more. You finally said it out loud. Stormy summer day is in the way of all the could have beens and should have beens. How do you anticipate this distorted tragedy? Maybe you're not dead, though this could be the end of your world. You should do like an Amazon like Audible thing.
That's Absolute, right? That's Absolute featuring Devin Townsend, right?
No.
So how do you anticipate this distorted tragedy? Oh no. That's Lower the Line.
Yeah, we've had Devin Townsend on our show exactly like last year. Devin was great.
Yeah. No, Lower the Line. I got that right.
Lower the Line. Yeah, Die Knowing.
How do you anticipate?
Last one. Here we go. This is the throwback of throwbacks. Maybe not the throwback of throwbacks. You should be able to get this. Where have you gone? How does time pass by so fast?
So fast. Seems like yesterday. It's the first song we ever wrote. All in the air.
All in the Year, Turning Around, 2003. All right, man, you got it. I'm going to give you a round of applause here.
I missed one.
That's okay. I mean, it really shows how expansive your entire discography is, bro. But I hope I don't know if I awakened something in Andrew, manifested something the next time you guys come to Dallas. But man, this has been an honor, dude. Thank you so much for doing this. I can't wait till we do this again. Hopefully in person, hopefully all those restrictions and everything else in between
I would appreciate that.
Come to Dallas, man. I'm dying to see. I haven't seen you guys live for as long as I've
what's the
listened
thing I was going to send you there? The moshing.
The moshing, this guy who does interviews, but he listens to the tracks, and if he moshes.
So like, if it gets like hype, then he moshes. It's sick.
Has he? So how many has he done of yours? How many songs has he done?
I don't know if he's ever done a comeback hit song.
What? Whoever that guy is, come on, do a comeback hit song. Please do. Dead on the Fence, man. Andrew, let's stay in touch on the socials, man. This has been a great, again, thanks again for taking the time out of your day to speak with me. I can't wait to do this again. Let's stay in touch. Do you have any last words, just any shout outs, anything you'd like to plug in or mention as far as
Heavy Steps is out January 21st. I don't know when this is out, but it is what it is. And dude, thanks for like watching this weird thing when I'm in my room here and just hanging. So
where else would you be, man? I'm glad you're not. I don't know how cold it gets in Winnipeg. Probably freezing cold. Yeah,
it's cold. I wish I was eating tacos in Texas.
Well, it's going to be like 40 again. Well, below that this weekend. It's 70 and then it's going to get 40. I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm dying here.
We do Celsius. You guys do Fahrenheit. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, isn't that weird? We're so stupid for doing that. I don't know why.
Americans, they're better, don't they?
Everyone who's listening, this is Andrew Neufeld. Comeback Kid. Heavy Steps drops January 21st. New Damage, Nuclear Blast Records. Do me a favor, do Andrew a favor if you can. Listen to this album, buy this album. It really helps out the artists, especially at a time like today. keep on the lookout for hopefully tour dates. I know you got that one canceled coming up, but as far as like North American, hopefully we can see y'all in.
I'm trying to do a text thing maybe before the summer, so don't worry about it.
Bro, keep me posted. And don't forget, everyone, you can listen to this podcast on all major podcast streams out there. Check us out on interviewunderfire.com. Andrew, send me that video. Send me that
Yeah, can you message me right now so we can?
Yeah, I'll hit you up on Instagram, all right?
Hell yeah, baby.
All right, buddy. Take it easy. I'll talk to you later, man. Peace.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to Interview Under Fire podcast. If you guys liked what you heard, please subscribe and share our channel. And please leave a 5-star review, as that helps us tremendously. If you'd like to check out more, visit www.interviewunderfire.com or our social media channels on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And finally, we want to thank you all for the support you've been giving us. Keep it burning.